The night was cold and quiet. A soft blue light covered the huge futuristic city. Tall buildings touched the clouds. Flying vehicles moved slowly in the sky. Neon signs blinked everywhere. But even with all this light, the city felt empty. Far above the streets. Inside a tall government building, a man worked alone. His name was Ethan. He was just a janitor. Every night, Ethan walked through long, silent hallways. He cleaned floors, wiped glass walls, and emptied trash bins. No one noticed him. No one said hello. People passed by him every day like he did not exist. To them, he was invisible. Ethan was used to it. He did his work quietly. He did not complain. But deep inside, he felt very alone. That night felt different. There was something strange in the air. For the past few weeks, the city had been full of rumors. People talked about secret labs, about experiments, about creatures that were not from Earth. Some said dangerous aliens had escaped. Some said the government was hiding something big. Ethan did not care much about rumors. He just wanted to finish his shift and go home. He pushed his cleaning cart down a long hallway on the 47th floor. The lights above him flickered for a second, then returned to normal. Ethan stopped. He looked up. Probably nothing, he whispered to himself. He kept walking. The building was unusually quiet tonight. No workers, no voices. Just the soft sound of his footsteps and the wheels of his cart. Then he heard something, a voice. Soft, weak, almost like a whisper. "See, can I stay with you tonight?" Ethan froze. His heart started beating faster. He slowly turned around. There was no one there. The hallway was empty. Bright white lights. Clean floors. Silent walls. Ethan frowned. "Hello?" He called out. No answer. He shook his head. "Maybe I'm just tired," he said quietly. He turned back and took a step forward. Then the lights flickered again. This time longer. The hallway went dark for a second. When the lights came back, something felt different. Ethan felt it, like someone, or something, was watching him. He slowly looked around. That's when he saw it. A small shadow moved near the corner of the wall. Ethan held his breath. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice shaking. The shadow moved again. Slowly. Carefully. And then it stepped into the light. Ethan's eyes widened. It was not human. It was small. Very small. About the size of a cat. Its body was covered in dark, soft scales. Its wings were tiny and folded close to its body. One of them looked injured. Its breathing was heavy, its body was shaking, and its eyes, they were glowing softly in the dim light. A tiny dragon. Ethan could not move. His mind went blank. Dragons were not real. They only existed in stories. But this was real. The small creature looked at him with fear. Then it spoke again. "Please," it said softly. "Don't be scared." Ethan took a step back. You can talk," he whispered. The dragon nodded weakly. "Yes." Its voice was soft, almost like a child. Ethan's fear slowly turned into confusion. What are you?" he asked. The dragon lowered its head. I don't know everything," it said. "But they call me a specimen." Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. Specimen. That word did not sound right. Before he could say anything, suddenly, loud alarms exploded through the building. Red lights started flashing everywhere. A robotic voice echoed through the halls. "Security alert. Security alert. Escaped specimen detected." Ethan's heart dropped. The dragon flinched in fear. "They found me," it whispered. Heavy footsteps echoed from far away. Voices followed. "Search every floor. Don't let it escape." Ethan looked toward the end of the hallway. Armed guards were coming. Fast. He looked back at the dragon. It was shaking more now. Its small body pressed against the wall, trying to hide. Its glowing eyes looked at Ethan. Full of fear, full of hope. "Please," it whispered again. "They will hurt me." Ethan's mind raced. This was real. This was happening. If he helped this creature, he could lose his job. He could be arrested, maybe even worse. But if he walked away, he knew exactly what would happen to it. The dragon slowly stepped closer. It was weak, injured. "Alone just like him. You're the only one," the dragon said softly. Who didn't look away? Those words hit Ethan hard. All his life, people had looked away from him, ignored him, forgotten him, and now, this small, scared creature was looking at him like he mattered, like he was its only hope. The footsteps were getting louder. Closer. Ethan had seconds to decide. His hands tightened around the handle of his cleaning cart. His heart pounded in his chest. He looked at the dragon. Then at the approaching guards, then back at the dragon. The alarms screamed, the red lights flashed. Time was running out. Ethan took a deep breath. And made his choice. Ethan did not think anymore. He just moved. Get in, he whispered quickly. The small dragon looked at him for a second, unsure. The loud footsteps were getting closer. Now, Ethan said, his voice low but urgent. The dragon quickly climbed into his cleaning cart. It curled its small body between the trash bags and cleaning cloths. Ethan grabbed a large dirty sheet and gently covered it. Stay quiet, he whispered. The dragon nodded, its glowing eyes slowly fading under the cloth. Ethan pushed the cart forward. His hands were shaking. His heart was beating so fast it felt like it would burst. The red alarm lights flashed across his face as he walked toward the end of the hallway. Then the guards appeared, 3 of them. Tall, armed, serious. Stop, one of them shouted. Ethan froze. For a moment, everything went silent. Where are you going? The guard asked, stepping closer. Ethan swallowed. I'm just cleaning, he said, trying to keep his voice steady. The guard looked at the cart. Open it. Ethan's chest tightened. This was it. If they looked inside, it was over. He slowly reached for the cloth. His hands felt heavy. But then he stopped. Sir, Ethan said, forcing a small, nervous smile. It's just trash and chemicals. Smells really bad. You don't want to check it. The guard stared at him. For a long second, no one spoke. Ethan could feel sweat on his forehead. Then another guard spoke. Leave it. We don't have time. The first guard hesitated, then stepped back. Move, he said. Ethan nodded quickly. Yes, sir. He pushed the cart forward, slowly at first. Then faster. But not too fast. He did not look back. He could not. Only when he turned the corner and the guards were gone did he breathe again. His legs felt weak, but he kept moving. The city outside was cold. Ethan walked fast through empty streets, pushing the cart like nothing was wrong. People passed by, but no one looked at him. No one ever did. Finally, he reached his building. It was old. Small. Very different from the tall, shining towers of the city. He quickly entered and went up the stairs to his apartment. Room 17. He opened the door. Inside, the room was messy, clothes on the floor, old food boxes, a small bed in the corner, a flickering light above. It was not a place for anyone special, but it was all Ethan had. He closed the door behind him and locked it. Then he rushed to the cart. It's okay, he said softly. You can come out. There was a small movement. Then the cloth shifted. The tiny dragon slowly lifted its head. Its eyes glowed softly in the dim room. It looked around, careful and scared. You're safe, Ethan said. The dragon slowly climbed out of the cart. But as soon as it landed on the floor, it stumbled. Hey, careful, Ethan said quickly. He knelt down. Now he could see clearly. The dragon was hurt. One of its wings was torn. There were small burns and cuts across its body. It was weaker than he thought. Ethan felt something strange in his chest. Not fear. Not anymore. Something else. Sit here, he said, pointing to a small cloth near his bed. The dragon obeyed. Slowly, Ethan went to his bathroom and grabbed some water, cloth, and old medicine. I don't know if this will work, he said, but I'll try. He gently cleaned the dragon's wounds. The dragon flinched at first, but then stayed still. You're not going to hurt me? It asked softly. Ethan looked at it. No, he said. I'm not like them. The dragon watched him closely. Its eyes were different, not like an animal. They were understanding. Thinking. What's your name? Ethan asked. The dragon was quiet for a moment. Then it said, Lyra. Ethan nodded. Lyra, he repeated. I'm Ethan. There was a small silence. but it was not uncomfortable. For the first time in a long time, Ethan did not feel alone. After a while, Lyra spoke again. "They made me," she said. Ethan looked up. "Made you?" She nodded slowly. "In a place with white walls, bright lights, and cold voices," she said. "They watched me, tested me." Ethan felt uneasy. "What kind of tests?" Lyra looked down. "They wanted to control me," she said quietly. "My fire, my power." Ethan's hand stopped. "They tried to change me," she continued. "Make me stronger, but not free." Her voice shook slightly. "I didn't like it." Ethan could hear the fear in her words. "So you escaped?" he asked. Lyra nodded. "Yes. I ran when I had the chance." Ethan sat back. This was bigger than he thought. This was not just a strange creature. This was something created. Something used. But also something alive. Lyra looked at him again. "You're different," she said. Ethan blinked. "Different? You didn't run," she said. "You didn't call them." Ethan looked away. "I know how it feels," he said quietly. Lyra tilted her head. "To be alone." Those words hung in the air. Lyra slowly moved closer to him. Not in fear this time, but with trust. She sat near him. Close. After a moment, she spoke again, softly. "Can I stay? Just for tonight?" Ethan looked at her. At her small injured body. At her tired glowing eyes. At the way she waited, hoping he would not say no. Ethan's apartment was small. Messy. Barely enough for one person. But somehow, it did not feel empty anymore. He let out a slow breath, then gave a small nod. "Yes," he said. Lyra's eyes softened. She slowly curled up near the bed. For the first time since he found her, she looked calm. Ethan sat there quietly, watching her. Thinking. His life had changed. In just one night, he did not know what would happen. Next. He did not know if he made the right choice, but one thing was clear: he could not turn back now, and deep inside, he did not want to. The first night passed quietly. Ethan did not sleep much. He sat on the floor, his back against the wall, watching Lyra as she rested near his bed. Her small body moved slowly as she breathed. The soft glow from her scales lit the dark room. It felt strange, but not bad. For the first time in many years, Ethan did not feel alone. Days began to pass. Ethan became careful, very careful. Every morning before leaving for work, he made sure Lyra was hidden. He closed the curtains tightly so no one could see inside. He left food and water near her. "Don't make noise," he would say. Lyra would nod. "I'll wait." She would reply softly. At night, Ethan returned quickly. He no longer stayed late at work. He avoided people. He avoided questions. His life had changed. Now, he had something to protect. Lyra also began to change, slowly, day by day. She grew stronger. The wounds on her body started to heal faster than Ethan expected. The torn wing began to fix itself, and her glow, it became brighter. At night, her small body gave off a soft light, like a living lamp in the dark room. Ethan noticed it first when he woke up one night. The room was not dark anymore. Lyra was glowing. Soft blue and orange light moved across her scales. "Lyra," he whispered. She opened her eyes. "I can't control it fully," she said. Ethan sat up, amazed. "It's beautiful," he said. Lyra looked at herself. "I think it means I'm getting stronger." A few days later, Ethan saw something even more surprising. He had brought home a small piece of metal trash from work. Lyra was playing with it on the floor. Suddenly, a tiny spark appeared near her mouth. Then another. Ethan leaned forward. "Wait, was that?" A small flame flickered for just a second, then disappeared. Lyra looked up at him. "I didn't mean to," she said quickly. Ethan smiled for the first time in a long while. "No, that's okay," he said. "That's amazing." Lyra blinked. "Amazing?" "Yes," Ethan said. "It means you're special." Lyra was quiet for a moment. Then she smiled softly. As days passed, their bond grew stronger. They started talking more. Ethan told Lyra about the human world, about cities. About jobs, about how people live. Why do humans ignore each other? Lyra asked one night. Ethan thought for a moment. I don't know, he said honestly. Maybe they're too busy, or maybe they just forget to care. Lyra tilted her head. I won't forget, she said. Ethan looked at her. Those simple words meant more than anything. Lyra also shared her thoughts, not memories, because she did not have many, but feelings, instincts. I feel fire inside me, she said once. Not just heat, something alive. Ethan listened carefully. Does it hurt? He asked to know, she said. It feels like power, but also scary. Ethan nodded. It's okay to feel scared, he said. Lyra looked at him. You're not scared of me. Ethan smiled a little. Maybe I should be, he said. But I'm not. Lyra moved closer to him. Why? Ethan looked at her for a long moment. Because you trust me, he said. And I trust you. Outside, the world was changing. The news was everywhere. Screens in the city showed the same message again and again. Warning, escaped creatures still at. Large images flashed across the screens, blurry shapes, shadowy figures. People talked about it in fear. Dangerous monster is hiding in the city. Authorities are increasing security. Stay inside. Report anything unusual. Ethan saw it all. Every day at work. He kept his head down, said nothing. But inside, he felt the pressure growing. The search became stronger. Drones filled the skies. They moved between buildings, scanning windows with red lights. At night, their soft humming sound filled the air. Ethan noticed more guards on the streets, more checks, more questions. One mistake, and everything would end. One evening, Ethan came home later than usual. He looked tired. Stressed. Lyra noticed it immediately. You're worried, she said. Ethan sat down heavily. They're getting closer, he said. The whole city is searching now. Lyra was quiet. Her glow dimmed slightly. I don't want to bring danger to you, she said softly. Ethan looked at her. You didn't, he said. I chose this. Lyra lowered her head. But you could lose everything. Ethan gave a small, tired smile. I didn't have much to lose. Before, he said. Lyra looked at him. She understood more than he thought. That night felt different. Very different. The air was heavy. Quiet. Too quiet. Ethan was about to sleep when Lyra suddenly lifted her head. Her eyes widened. Her body became still. What is it? Ethan asked. Lyra did not answer immediately. She stood up slowly. Her glow became brighter. I feel them, she whispered. Ethan's heart skipped. Feel who? Lyra looked toward the window. Her voice was low. They are close. Ethan stood up quickly. He moved to the window and pulled the curtain. Slightly. Outside. A red light passed across the building. A drone. Then another. And another. Scanning. Watching. Searching. Ethan single quotes as chest tightened. They're here, he whispered. Lyra stepped back. Fear returned to her eyes. What do we do? She asked. Ethan did not answer. Because for the first time, he did not know. The room felt smaller now. The walls felt closer. The danger was real. Very real. Ethan looked at Lyra. At the small dragon who trusted him, who needed him. He knew one thing: hiding would not work forever. Soon they would find her. And when they did, there would be no second chance. Ethan clenched his fists. His mind raced. He had to make a bigger choice now, a harder choice, one that could change everything. The night was no longer quiet. Red lights flashed across the old building. Loud engines echoed in the streets below. Heavy boots moved fast on the stairs. They had found the place. Ethan stood near the window, his chest tight. They're here, he said. Lyra stepped back, her small body shaking. I told you. They would find me, she whispered. Ethan looked at her. No, he said firmly. We're not giving up. There was no time to think, only time to act. Come on, he said quickly. We leave now. Lyra nodded. Ethan grabbed his old jacket and wrapped it around her small body. He held her close to his chest. Stay quiet, he whispered. He opened the back door of his apartment. The hallway outside was dark, but not empty. Far away, voices echoed. They're on the upper floors. Check every room. Ethan moved fast but careful, step by step. He walked toward the stairs. Each sound felt louder than before. Each breath felt heavy. Lyra stayed still in his arms. They reached the back stairs. Ethan pushed the door open slowly. It creaked. He froze. No one came. He moved again down the stairs. 1 floor. 2 floors. 3 floors. The sounds of soldiers grew louder. Above. They were close. Too close. Finally, Ethan reached the ground floor. He opened the back exit door. Cold air hit his face. They were outside. The alley behind the building was dark and narrow. Trash bins lined the walls. Water dripped from broken pipes. The smell was strong, but it was empty. Now. Ethan did not stop. Stay with me, he whispered. He ran. His boots hit the wet ground as he moved through the alley. Lyra held onto him tightly. Her small claws pressed into his jacket. Behind them voices shouted, "He's here. Stop him." They had seen him. Ethan's heart raced. He turned into another alley. Then another, trying to lose them. But the city was not on his side. Bright lights from drones appeared. Above. Red beams scanned the ground. There, a voice shouted. Ethan looked up. A drone hovered above them. They were exposed. "Hold on," Ethan said. He ran faster. His breath became heavy. His legs burned. Lyra moved slightly. "I can try to fly," she said weakly. Ethan shook his head. "No, not yet. I have to," she said. Her voice was soft but determined. Ethan stopped for a second. He placed her down. "Only if you can," he said. "Don't force it." Lyra nodded. She spread her small wings. They were still not fully healed. She tried. She pushed herself up. For a moment she lifted. Just a little. But then she fell. Her body hit the ground. Ethan rushed to her. "It's okay," he said quickly. "Don't try again." Lyra looked down. "I'm still weak." Ethan picked her up again. "We keep moving," he said. The sound of boots grew louder. They were catching up. Ethan turned into a dead end. He stopped. His heart dropped. There was nowhere to go. Walls on all sides. No escape. Lyra looked around. Fear filled her eyes. "They will take me," she whispered. Ethan's mind raced. There had to be a way. Then he saw something. A small gap between two broken walls. Just enough space. "Listen to me," Ethan said quickly. He knelt down and placed Lyra near the gap. "You go in there." Lyra shook her head. "No, I won't leave you. You have to," Ethan said firmly. "They're coming for you. Not me. I don't want you to get hurt." Lyra said. Ethan smiled sadly. "I'll be fine." That was not true, but he said it anyway. Lyra looked at him. Her eyes were filled with fear and something else. "Trust. Stay hidden," Ethan said softly. "No matter what happens, don't come out." Lyra hesitated. Then slowly she nodded. She moved into the gap and disappeared into the shadows. Ethan stood up. He took a deep breath. Then he turned around and waited. The soldiers arrived. Seconds later. Guns raised. Lights shining. "Don't move," one of them shouted. Ethan raised his hands. He did not run. He did not fight. They grabbed him quickly, forced him to the ground. Cold metal cuffs locked around his wrists. "Where is it?" an officer demanded. Ethan said nothing. "Where is the creature?" the officer repeated. Ethan looked at the ground. Silent. The officer stepped closer. "You were seen carrying it?" Still no answer. The officer's face hardened. "Talk." Ethan stayed quiet. A heart hit his side. Pain shot through his body. He fell to his knees. But he did not speak. "Where is it?" the officer shouted again. Ethan clenched his teeth. "I don't know," he said. It was a lie. His first lie had been inside the building. This was his second, and he did not regret it. The continued. Each one stronger than the last. Pain filled his body. But Ethan stayed silent because he knew if he spoke, Lyra would be taken. Changed. Controlled. Or worse. Not far away, hidden in the darkness. Lyra watched. Her small body was still, her eyes wide. She saw everything. Ethan on the ground, the soldiers around him, the pain he was taking. For her. Her chest felt tight. Something inside her started to change. The fear was still there, but something else was. Growing stronger higher her eyes began to glow brighter. Not soft anymore not weak, but burning. They will break him, one soldier said. He'll talk. Lyra's claws pressed into the ground her breathing became heavier. No, she whispered. Ethan fell again under another hit, still silent, still protecting her. Lyra's body trembled, but not from fear now, from something deeper. Something powerful. The fire inside her was waking up. Her eyes burned like light in the dark. Her wings slowly opened. A faint heat rose around her. For the first time, Lyra was not just scared, she was ready. The night burned with tension. Ethan lay on the cold ground. His hands were tied behind his back. His body ached with pain. Each breath felt heavy. But even now, he did not speak. The soldiers stood around him. Weapons ready, eyes cold. Last chance. The officer said, "Where is the creature?" Ethan lifted his head slowly. There was blood on his lip. His voice was weak, but steady. "I told you," he said. "I don't know." The officer's face turned hard. He raised his hand again, but then something changed. The air grew warm. A strange heat moved through the alley. The soldiers looked around. "What is that?" one of them said. A low sound filled the air. Not loud, but powerful, like something waking up. Then a sudden flash of light. Bright. Burning. The darkness of the alley disappeared for a moment, and from the shadows Lyra stepped out. She was not the same. Her small body now glowed brighter than ever before. Light moved across her scales like flowing fire. Her eyes burned with a strong, golden glow. Her wings opened slowly, stronger now, not perfect, but enough. The air around her shimmered with heat. The soldiers stepped back. "What is that thing?" one whispered. Ethan looked up. His eyes widened. Lyra. He breathed. She had come back. Lyra took another step forward. Her gaze locked on the soldiers. But there was no wild anger. No madness. Only control. Only purpose. "You hurt him," she said. Her voice was no longer weak. It was calm, but powerful. The officer raised his weapon. "Fire!" he shouted. Shots rang out, but before the bullets could reach her, flames burst into life. A wall of fire rose in front of Lyra. The bullets melted in the air. The heat pushed the soldiers back. They shouted in panic. "Fall back! Get the drones!" Above them, drones moved quickly into position. Red lights locked onto Lyra. Weapons charged. Ethan struggled against his restraints. "No!" he shouted. "Lyra, run!" But she did not move. She stood her ground. The drones fired. Bright beams of energy shot toward her. Lyra lifted her head. Her eyes burned brighter. And then she answered. A stream of fire exploded from her mouth, is stronger than before. Higher. Faster. It hit the drones in the air. One by one they fell, burning. Pieces dropped from the sky. The alley filled with smoke and light. The soldiers stepped back in fear. "This is not possible," one of them said. But it was, and they were seeing it with their own eyes. Lyra moved forward again. Slow. Controlled. She did not attack the soldiers directly. She did not chase them. She only stood between them and Ethan, protecting him. Always protecting him. The officer stared at her. Then at Ethan. Something in his expression changed. "This creature," he said slowly. "It's protecting him." No one spoke, because they all saw it. This was not a wild beast. This was not a mindless experiment. This was something else. Something they did not understand. Ethan looked at Lyra, even in pain. He smiled. "You came back," he said softly. Lyra glanced at him. "I told you I wouldn't forget." Those simple words carried everything. Trust. Loyalty. Choice. More lights appeared in the distance. More forces were coming, but they slowed down. They did not rush forward. They watched. Careful. Uncertain. Because now things were different. Cameras from drones still working captured everything. The fire, the dragon. The human. The moment. And far beyond the city, people were watching on screens, on devices, across the world. They saw the truth. a dragon, standing beside a human. Not attacking, not destroying, but protecting. The officer lowered his weapon slowly. "This changes nothing," he said. But his voice was not as strong. Ethan looked at him. "It changes everything," he replied. Lyra stepped closer to Ethan. The flames around her softened. She lowered her head. Carefully. Gently. As if asking, "Are you okay?" Ethan nodded slightly. "I'm fine," he said. That was enough. The soldiers did not attack again. They stepped back. Slowly. No one gave the order, but everyone understood. This fight was no longer simple. Minutes later, the alley was quiet again. The fire faded. The drones were gone. The soldiers had retreated. Only Ethan and Lyra remained. Ethan sat against the wall. Still weak, Lyra stayed close to him. Not as a weapon, not as a creature, but as something more. In the days that followed, the world talked about nothing else. News channels showed the same images again and again. A human risked everything for a creature no one understood. Debates started. Questions were asked. People began to see things differently. Not all creatures were monsters. Not all experiments were dangerous. Some just wanted to live. Ethan returned home. His life was not the same anymore. But he did not regret anything. Lyra stayed with him, not hidden in fear, but living beside him. She grew stronger every day. Her light filled the small apartment. But now, it did not feel small anymore. One night, Ethan sat by the window. The city lights shined outside. Lyra rested near him. Safe. Ethan looked at her. "You could have left," he said. Lyra opened her eyes. "I know," she said. "Then why didn't you?" Lyra looked at him. Her glowing eyes soft again. "Because you stayed," she said. Ethan smiled. A real smile. For the first time in years. And so, in a world full of fear, in a city that never cared, a simple choice changed everything. That night, a lost dragon asked for a place to stay, and found the only human who truly listened.